Some things just exist. Others become legends. Things that have the very soul of a country breathed into them. We're not talking about metal. We're talking about history on two wheels. The Indian Chief. And for those in the know, it's the Holy Grail. The pinnacle. So what's the magic? Why does this relic create such an obsession? Why is there a full-blown hunt for it, with price tags in the millions? The answer, it's not in the spec sheet. It's something more, something you have to feel. To really get the Chief phenomenon, you got to take a trip back to America's golden age. The war was over. The country was celebrating victory and diving headfirst into the dream of a house, a car, and freedom on the open road. And here was its king, ruling this asphalt kingdom, the Indian Chief. One look, and you knew it was different. This wasn't just a bike, it was a statement. Look at those lines. That aerodynamic suit, they gave the rear wheel the fender skirt. That was a power move. While other bikes looked angular and utilitarian, the Chief was fluid, seamless, like it was carved from a single piece of steel. It was heavier, lower, and longer than any Harley of its time. It didn't just drive, it glided. And its heart. Oh, that's a story all by itself. A massive 80 cubic inch V-twin. When you fired it up, it wasn't just an engine sound. It was a deep, low rumble you could hear blocks away. It didn't scream, it proclaimed. Owning one of these in the 50s? That was like parking a Cadillac with tail fins in your driveway. It was a direct signal. I've made it. I'm a winner. This wasn't a purchase, it was an investment in status, in style, in the very essence of the American dream. It was the benchmark. A king with no apparent successor. But a crown is never earned easily. The Chief's toughness was forged not in showrooms, but in the fires of World War II. The Indian Company, like many others, retooled its assembly lines for the war effort. These very motorcycles, these frames and engines, were tested in the most extreme conditions imaginable. They saw mud, dust, rain, and fire. They didn't quit. And when the soldiers came home, they brought back more than just duffel bags. They brought back a hard-earned craving for freedom. A craving for the wind in their face, for the endless road, for control over their own lives. And the Chief, their reliable, battle-tested buddy, was there to deliver. That same bassy rumble became the soundtrack to a new, peaceful life. It was a symbol of survival, of resilience, of true grit. It was a silent witness to history that touched every American family. So when you look at a Chief today, you're not looking at an old machine. You're looking at a retired veteran who's earned his rest. The irony is the greatest legends often die young. At the peak of its fame, the Indian Company, once a giant, began to stumble. Bad business decisions, fierce competition. And in 1953, production of the legendary Chief stopped dead. Just like that, the king was dead. And that's where the legend went from big to mythical. Suddenly, you couldn't buy a new Chief. At any price. Every surviving, running example transformed from transportation into an artifact. A relic. It's like if Van Gogh had stopped painting in his prime, every existing piece would instantly become priceless. Today, when one of these four horsemen rolls onto the auction block, the air literally crackles with tension. Because the people in that room know they're not bidding on a motorcycle. They're bidding on tangible proof of a bygone era. On a piece of American mythology you can park in your garage. This is the real deal, the genuine article, no compromises. This isn't about investment, it's about passion. It's about owning a piece of history that will never be made again. So what's the final answer? What's the magic of the Indian Chief? It's simple. The Indian Chief isn't a motorcycle. It's a time machine. When you turn the key and hear that raspy, alive rumble, you're not starting an engine. You're starting up a memory. You're plugging into the optimism of post-war America, the unbreakable grit of the greatest generation, the pure, untamed freedom of the open road. The collectors shelling out fortunes aren't paying for chrome and steel. They're paying for a feeling. They're buying the right to own, to preserve, to touch a legend. That's what this is. The Indian Chief. Not just a motorcycle. It's a living, breathing piece of the American dream. And as long as there are people willing to listen, its story will keep on going.